Today is July 4th, better known in the U.S. as the 4th of July, which was the Declaration of Independence Day, or Independence Day as we refer to it. And yes, there was a William Whipple who signed the Declaration of Independence. But I wanted to give you a little history lesson and then a couple comments on how this might relate to what we're doing in this acquisition process. But the rewards and the penalties are a little bit different. It has been said that freedom isn't free. Never was that more evident than in early July 1776, when members of the Second Continental Congress debated and revised the Declaration of Independence. The document, which was written by Thomas Jefferson with the assistance of John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Robert Livingston, and Roger Sherman, was officially adopted on July 4th, 1776. From there, it was sent to the printer, John Dunlap, for duplication. This edition is known as the Dunlap Broadside. It is the first published version of the Declaration of Independence. It is estimated that 200 copies were printed, of which 25 are known to still exist. The first newspaper to publish the Declaration of Independence was the Pennsylvania Evening Post on July 6th. The first public reading of it took place on July 8th in Philadelphia. It was read by John Nixon at what is now Independence Hall. General George Washington had it read to his troops on July 9th in New York City. Unlike today, when communication is instantaneous, it took almost a month for the Declaration of Independence to make its way across the Atlantic to Great Britain. It was published in the Britain newspapers beginning mid-August 1776. By signing the document, the 56 men risked high treason against the King of England. In essence, they signed their death warrants because that was the penalty. However, death was not simple or quick. It was a process. First, the guilty was to be hanged until unconscious, then cut down and revived, then disemboweled and beheaded, then cut into quarters. Each quarter was to be boiled in oil. The remnants were scattered abroad, so the last resting place of the offender would remain forever unnamed, unhonored, and unknown. In addition to death, all the offender's earthly goods were to be confiscated by the state. The family could own no property, and this dictate extended to the future heirs. In the words of Shakespeare, "For the sins of your fathers, you, though guiltless, must suffer." So, on this 4th of July, as you celebrate the holiday with hot dogs, hamburgers, fireworks, remember those who pledged to each other our lives, fortunes, and our sacred honor. Yes, freedom isn't free. And, while quite a bit different than the Declaration of Independence, this acquisition process is an independence process for a lot. And certainly some come to mind that have been through this process, that have done acquisitions. Most recently, a mentee of mine on June 30th was able to leave his corporate career after completing his fourth acquisition. Actually, his third acquisition. His fourth happened right after he ended up leaving that corporate career. So in fact, a Independence Day, if you will. And certainly, while this is work, requires sacrifice, etc., nothing compared to the sacrifice of those 56 men who signed the Declaration of Independence and, in fact, did sign their death warrant. But the rewards of that are pretty evident as you look at it. So remember that this is a process. This requires sacrifice. The rewards, I think, are well worth it. This is not, as I've said 1,000 times, this is a simple process, but simple is not the same as easy. So, on Independence Day, take a few minutes to think about what you have. If you're in America, think about the process and the sacrifice by those that gave us our independence and that process. And do something to work towards your Independence Day. If you are receiving my emails, great. If you are not, just go over to brucewhipple.com, grab the free class. That'll put you on the email that I put out 3 times a week, oftentimes letting you know about a podcast like this or a video or some actionable item. But independence is an important day, and I hope you take some time to think about it and work towards your own Independence Day.